producer, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Los Angeles City Civil Rights Association. And we fight for constitutional, human, and amendment rights. We fight for your rights. And not only do we fight for your rights, we talk about your rights. We discuss your rights. What are your rights? Well, guess what? You won't know your rights if you don't read about your amendment rights, if you don't read about your constitutional rights. If you don't study your civil rights, how will you know your civil rights? I want to introduce our distinguished guest for today, and then we have a surprise guest that we're going to have on the phone in a little while. We're going to talk about some things over the phone with none other than Mr. Brian Oxman, the 20-year attorney for the Jackson family. We're going to talk about some things like that. So here's Jasmine. Hi, Jazz.
Hi.
How you doing this week?
Pretty good.
Good. Hey, there we go. All right. This is our intern, Jasmine, and not only now is she our intern, she's my assistant. She assists me with this show. And last week she was fabulous, with a very nice Colgate smile. And so we need that added happiness and intelligence and young entrepreneurial skills on our show to help continue to develop our civil rights movement with people such as Jazz who can carry our dream and keep it alive. So, thanks, Jazz.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, but before we get into all the things we're going to talk about, we have to do the introduction to the show. I produced this myself. It's a mixture of Dr. Martin Luther King and none other than the great historical singer, Mr. Marvin Gaye. One of the baddest performers that ever performed in the world. Marvin Gaye was on the top. And so in his time, and this is what I like about Michael Jackson, he looked at people like Marvin Gaye, James Brown, Bo Diddley, and other performers. He looked at them and saw what they brought to the table, and he put it all together, and bam, he was Michael Jackson. Wow. One of the greatest entertainers in the world. Let's do our introduction to the show, and we can just kind of let's see what we have. Hey Josh, how you doing, man?
Everything's good.
All right, so we got Josh here, our technical person who makes sure the show is getting there. So just check this out for a minute, and we'll get back to it. Okay, so that's the introduction to our show, What's Going On. That was a mixture with Dr. Martin Luther King, the I Have a Dream speech, and What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Two very prolific people who walked the planet Earth that made a gigantic difference in history. Dr. King fighting to get the Civil Rights Bill, and Marvin Gaye spreading the Civil Rights movement, but through his music, with music like Mercy, Mercy Me, What's Going On, and a lot of other songs that Marvin did. Get to this in the history of music from Motown, period. Motown kicked out a lot of great stars.
Yeah. And I think you had said last week that music is an international language with everybody else. So I think it's like music, for one, is more effective in reaching people than spoken word.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jazz. You're right. Because, no matter what language, and I said this last week, no matter what language you speak, if you're from Sweden, from Great Britain, from Australia, from the Aborigines down under, from Auckland, wherever you are in the world, Africa, Egypt, wherever you are in the world, Italy, Rome, Paris, wherever you are in the world right now, there's one language that everybody understands. And what is that, Jeff?
Music.
Music. What do you think, Josh?
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you could take a hip hop song and play it in China and Japan, and they love hip hop music in Japan. They love lowriders in Japan. They love a lot of things. But let's get down with the quick news, because quick news is what we always get started with. Now, whether you're in, wherever you are in the United States, if you're in New York, South Dakota, North Dakota, if you're in Texas, if you if you're in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, if you're in Mexico, or you're in Chicago or Detroit, or if you're right here in southern sunny California, isn't it going to be hot today?
Yeah.
It's going to be like 100 degrees, right?
Yeah, 100.
What a day
So
for the
hot
beach.
yesterday.
It was really hot yesterday. The weather in Los Angeles is perfecto. It's like perfect. And tomorrow's going to be 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody can still, ladies, you can still wear your sandals, right? And show off their manicures and pedicures. Hey guys, you can still wear your tank top t-shirts. It's beach weather in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
The best weather in the world. That's why everybody wants to come to Southern California, huh? I guess we are the melting pot of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because we have all ethnicities in Los Angeles, California, and people come from all over the world to be right here. Well, let's get down with some quick news. Let's talk about politics, because politics are politics.
One of my favorite things to talk about, actually.
Well, that's really wonderful, because we're about to go deep.
Okay.
And so let's start off with Senator Roderick Wright. We talked about him last week, about him being indicted. He is a senator, and they say that he does not live in the area where he should have been living. So they have 8 counts against him. How do you feel about that?
I feel like, I just feel a lot of times when stuff like this arises, it's because there's somebody or a couple of people who are trying to kind of use this as a tool to deter, the public's attention and kind of put negative press on that certain party. It happens all the time in politics, and I think things get blown out of proportion. And like with this 8 counts of perjury, when he's been
Say the magic word, blown out of proportion.
yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's go back. Do we have a picture of District Attorney Steve Cooley? Okay, let's talk about District Attorney Steve Cooley. He is the district attorney, and he is the one who goes after criminals, or people that he feels that are criminals. And lately, he's been going after African American politicians, elected officials. And from what I understand, people have been under investigation, like Bernard Parks, Councilman Bernard Parks. Right now, Congresswoman Maxine Waters is under investigation. A lot, I can't even name them all, Do you think it's a season?
I think so. I mean, there definitely is like an ongoing theme in who he's going after. I mean, even if he was to spice it up and throw one more person in there who wasn't, an African American politician, so to speak, it still seems very sketchy and suspect.
It's amazing, because there's also they're talking about, going over to Eric Perridan in the city of Compton, which he is the mayor of Compton, but he also has a job in the judicial system, and he makes an X amount of money. They're saying that he might be making too much money, and that could be a problem for him as well.
Yeah.
And that's in the city of Compton. Now, do we have a picture of Vail, California, the city council in Vail? Or do we have anything that's okay? Let's just keep Steve Cooley's picture on there, because Steve Cooley is the same one who went after the city council in the city of Vail, and they have all been arrested.
Yeah.
Everyone in the city of Vail was arrested. The city council, the people got together, and they found out their rights were being violated, and the people took charge, and they started to do what it took to change policies in the city of Vail.
Yeah.
And I think I think that in total, they beat the city out of $50 million.
Yeah, which I believe some of that they're getting back because they were paying too much for their taxes.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, they charged the people in the city over they kept $50 million, period, over a period of time amongst the group, the city council board. And so let's talk about Jesse Jackson Jr. Do we have Jesse Jackson Jr. up there? Did you hear about what happened to Jesse Jackson Jr.?
No, I didn't hear too much about
not going to say this much. I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to say this much. I do support Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. and Reverend Jackson Jr., Jesse Jackson Jr. However, we have to be careful how we do what we do, because as African American elected officials, we just can't get caught up in any type of scandals whatsoever. Because whenever we do, it's always magnified, and they try to destroy your character. They try to destroy your demeanor. They try to destroy you as an individual. So all I'm saying to all of our elected officials that support and work within the African American communities and cities and boroughs around the United States of America, we have to be careful. That even goes for our Commander-in-Chief, Barack Obama. Let's clap it up for Barack Obama. But we won't go on Barack yet. We're going to stay here with the elected officials. Do we have, what are some of the other pictures that we have, Josh?
I'll pull something up. Is there a list over there?
Yeah, I think we do have a list. And we're going to go by our list now. Who's next on our list? Let's pull up Jerry Brown. Let's pull up Jerry Brown. That's a good one. Okay. And do we have Meg Whitman? Is that her name?
Yeah, Meg
Whitman. Do we have Meg Whitman too? The lady that's going against him? Well, that's okay. You all know who Meg Whitman is. She's the lady that they don't want to win. And Jerry Brown is the guy that they don't want to win. So who do we have as governor? Because nobody wants either one of them to be the governor. So what a race.
Yeah, seriously.
Can you imagine how much money they spent on advertisement on Jerry Brown's campaign?
A lot. It's just they pour into these campaigns and their ads.
I heard that Steve Cooley, now I don't know if it's true, but I heard that District Attorney Steve Cooley is running for, he's running for U.S. Attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to run for U.S. Attorney, and who's going to beat him? I'm like, who's going to beat this guy?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Now, Jerry Brown stepping out of his position to open a door for District Attorney Steve Cooley. Steve Cooley stepping out of his position for someone to step into his shoes. I mean, you know, it's all a premeditated thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just shifting.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
Shifting power, and it's just like a chess game, and they have control of all the pawns.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we almost kind of know how that's going to turn out, but, you know, I'm not going to say that it's going to turn out that way, but I'm going to say this. Watch Jerry Brown, watch District Attorney Steve Cooley, watch all of our elected officials. I want to give a big doodles and big ups to Congresswoman Diane Watson. You know, she is retired now, and she's done so much for Los Angeles, California, and the United States. She's worked in so many different capacities. She's also the ambassador of Africa. So we support all of our elected officials. We give you all blessings, and we lift you up. And we just pray that God bless you and keep you in divine protection. Because in this political day that we're living in, it's all about money.
Yes.
And whoever has the most money wins, right?
Yeah, that's basically it. And just the division between the parties is just so...
Speaking of parties, do we have any pictures of the Tea Party?
Yes.
Yeah, can we pull up a picture of the Tea Party? Because, you know, while he's getting the picture for the Tea Party, I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, but there's a lot of war going on between these politicians.
Yeah.
And the Democrats and the Republicans. But let me tell you, the Republicans were so mad at the Democrats for winning the seat and everything. Just here recently, some Republicans went out and threatened to kill Democrats. They went to their house and cut their gas line and all kinds of crazy stuff, and were making terrorist threats. And some of them had to be escorted from the White House or the Capitol to the parking lot to their cars to leave. And Republicans were threatening them. Now, what type of political, I don't know. We're talking about terrorists here. We're talking about the Middle East and their terrorists.
Yeah.
What about the terrorists right here in America?
Yeah, they're supposed to be protecting us on the home front and not creating more turmoil within, our own...
So, can we pull up Barack Obama? Because,